Love has a way of revealing itself in the smallest details, often before a man ever speaks the words, "I love you." You may feel the shift in his energy, sense the change in how he moves around you, or notice the little things he does that make your world feel different. Sometimes love doesn't arrive with grand gestures or dramatic confessions. Instead, it shows up quietly, in the way he listens, the way he remembers, and the way he begins to shape his life with you in it. These signs are subtle, but they are powerful, and once you know how to recognize them, you'll never mistake them for anything less than true affection. For many women, the biggest question isn't whether a man likes them, it's whether he truly loves them. Attraction can be fleeting, but real love has depth, patience, and consistency. It's not about charm, sweet words, or temporary infatuation. A man who is falling deeply in love with you will reveal it through actions, through choices, and through the way he gradually lowers his walls. You'll begin to notice that you're not just part of his days, but part of his plans, his priorities, and his heart. Falling in love changes the way a man thinks. He starts looking beyond himself. Suddenly, your happiness matters to him in a way that feels natural, not forced. He doesn't just hear you, he listens. He doesn't just see you, he notices you. And perhaps most importantly, he doesn't just want you for now. He starts imagining you in his future. These are not random gestures. They are the foundations of love, quietly built one moment at a time. The beauty of these signs is that they're not dramatic or exaggerated. They're real. They show up in the little sacrifices, in the way he opens up emotionally, in how he protects you without making it obvious, or how he proudly brings you into the most important parts of his life. Each action, each glance, each word becomes a thread that weaves you closer into his world. Of course, no two men love in exactly the same way. Some express it boldly, others more quietly. But what remains constant is that love always leaves evidence. It always shows up in the way he treats you, values you, and chooses you. And if you know what to look for, you'll see that love is rarely hidden. It's written in his behavior long before it's spoken aloud. So if you've ever found yourself wondering whether his feelings run as deep as yours, pay attention not just to what he says, but to what he does. Because when a man is truly falling in love, there are certain signs he cannot hide, no matter how hard he tries. Here are 12 unmistakable signs a man is falling deeply in love with you. He prioritizes your happiness. When a man is truly falling deeply in love, one of the clearest signs is that he begins to prioritize your happiness above almost everything else. It goes beyond simple gestures or politeness. It becomes part of the way he lives around you. He starts paying attention to what makes you smile, what makes you feel comfortable, and what helps you feel safe. Your mood becomes something he naturally tunes into, without even being asked. If you've had a hard day, he notices the little shifts in your tone, the way your eyes carry tiredness, or how quiet you've become, and he instinctively wants to lift the weight off your shoulders. It's not about grand, dramatic displays, but about the small choices he makes every single day to keep you at ease. This prioritization doesn't mean he ignores himself, but rather that your well-being becomes linked to his own sense of fulfillment. If you're happy, he feels happy. If you're struggling, he feels restless until he finds a way to help. You'll see it in the way he chooses restaurants he knows you'll enjoy, or how he'll give up something he wanted just to see you more comfortable. It can be as simple as offering you the last slice of pizza, or as profound as standing by you when everyone else is silent. His love shows itself through his willingness to shift his plans, rearrange his schedule, or compromise on something important, just to make sure you feel valued. Another layer to this is how he begins thinking about the future with your happiness in mind. His plans aren't built around just what he wants anymore. They're shaped around both of you. Whether it's a trip, a career move, or even simple weekend plans, he considers how it will affect you and whether it will bring you joy. This kind of prioritization is never forced. It flows naturally because his heart is invested. When you mean this much to him, his love transforms from words into consistent, quiet actions. That is how you can tell. It's not a performance, but a genuine alignment of his happiness with yours. He opens up emotionally. When a man is falling deeply in love, One of the most powerful signs is that he begins to open up emotionally in ways he never has before. Men are often taught to keep their feelings hidden, to appear strong and unshaken. But when love grows, those walls start to fall. He feels safe enough with you to let you see not just the polished, confident side of him, but also the fragile, uncertain parts. It's not just about saying I love you or paying compliments. It's about sharing the fears he carries, the disappointments he's faced, the dreams that keep him awake at night. He lets you into the private space of his mind and heart, because your presence feels like a refuge rather than a risk. You'll notice that conversations with him shift from surface-level topics to deeper truths. He'll talk about moments from his past that shaped him, even the ones he doesn't usually bring up. He may admit mistakes, regrets, or insecurities he usually keeps buried. When he allows you to witness his vulnerabilities, it's not weakness, it's trust. Love creates a bridge where silence used to exist, and he uses that bridge to connect with you in a way that feels raw and real. Opening up emotionally also shows in how he listens and responds to your feelings. He's no longer distant or dismissive. He leans in, not only to understand you better, but to match your openness with his own. This exchange builds intimacy that goes beyond physical attraction because it roots the relationship in honesty. His laughter, his tears, his doubts, his hopes, all of these become things he wants to share with you first. What makes this so profound is that it isn't easy for many men to expose the layers beneath their strength. But when love is genuine, the need to be understood outweighs the fear of being judged. He begins to see you as the one person who can hold his heart without breaking it. That is why when he opens up emotionally, it's one of the clearest signs that his feelings are not just fleeting desire, but a deep and lasting love. He introduces you to his inner circle. When a man is truly falling in love, one of the unmistakable signs is that he introduces you to his inner circle. This isn't a casual step. It's a deeply symbolic gesture that shows how important you've become in his life. Men are protective of the people closest to them, whether that's family, childhood friends, or trusted colleagues. Letting you into that space means he sees you as more than a passing chapter. He sees you as part of his story. By bringing you into his inner circle, he is silently saying, "You matter to me enough that I want the people who matter most to me to know you too." You may notice how he starts weaving your name into conversations with his friends, or casually telling his family about you before you even meet them. That's not just chatter, it's preparation. He's laying the groundwork so that when you do step into that world, you're already familiar, already present in their minds as someone who is special to him. When he introduces you, he isn't simply showing you off. He's bridging two parts of his life, merging the private and personal with the shared and social. The way he behaves in those moments also reveals a lot. You'll see pride in his voice when he speaks about you, the subtle glow in his eyes when he watches you interact with his people. He wants you to be accepted, respected, and cherished by them because in his heart, you're already in that place. If his family embraces you, if his friends laugh with you, it brings him joy on a level that words can't fully describe. This act is more than formality, it's investment. Introducing you to his inner circle means he isn't thinking short-term anymore. He's placing you in the frame of his future. It's his way of saying he believes in the relationship, enough to connect the dots between his world and yours. When a man takes this step, it's never random. It's deliberate, intentional, and deeply telling of how far his love has grown. 4. He remembers the little details. When a man is falling deeply in love, one of the quiet yet powerful signs is that he remembers the little details about you. These aren't just the big milestones or obvious facts anyone could notice, like your birthday or favorite color, but the subtle, almost hidden things that most people overlook. He notices how you take your coffee, the way your voice softens when you talk about something meaningful, or that one song you hum absent-mindedly when you're lost in thought. These small pieces of you become treasures in his mind, stored carefully, because they matter to him simply because you matter. This kind of attention is not forced. He doesn't take mental notes as if it were a test. He absorbs these details naturally because he's tuned in. Love sharpens his focus. and suddenly the things that others would miss become unforgettable to him. He'll surprise you by recalling something you mentioned weeks ago, maybe a passing comment about a childhood memory or a dream you've never told anyone else. When he brings it up later, you realize he wasn't just listening, he was listening to you. These details often show up in his actions. He'll get you your favorite snack without being asked. He'll suggest watching a movie you once said you loved years ago. He'll check in on something you casually mentioned you were worried about, proving that your words never disappear into the air when he hears them. Every small gesture becomes proof that he values not just your presence, but the depth of who you are. This remembering also builds intimacy, because it shows you that he's paying attention to the real you, not just the surface, not just what's convenient. It communicates that he sees you fully, and he's willing to hold those little fragments of your personality close to him. In a world where so many feel unseen or unheard, this kind of care is profound. When a man loves you, remembering the little details is his way of saying, I see you, I hear you, and everything about you matters to me. He makes future plans with you. When a man is falling deeply in love, one of the most revealing signs is that he begins making future plans with you. This isn't about vague promises or casual, someday conversations. It's about the way he naturally starts including you in his vision of tomorrow. Love shifts his mindset from living only in the present to building something lasting, and you'll notice it in the way he talks about upcoming events, goals, or dreams. Suddenly, his I turns into we. He says, we should try that restaurant next month, or next summer we could take a trip together. Because in his heart, you are already part of his timeline. This future planning can show up in both small and big ways. It might be something simple like buying tickets for a concert 2 months away, or it might be bigger, talking about where he'd like to live one day and imagining you there with him. Even if marriage or family isn't mentioned directly, his actions reveal that he isn't picturing his life without you in it. That's love turning into commitment, and commitment always looks forward. The deeper part of this is how he adjusts his decisions with you in mind. If he's offered a new job, he'll consider how it might affect your relationship. If he's thinking of moving, he'll want your thoughts. It's not that he's giving up his independence, it's that he's weaving you into the fabric of his choices. To him, the future doesn't feel complete unless you're there. This behavior also creates emotional security. When he makes plans with you, he's silently telling you, I see us lasting. I believe in us enough to invest my time, energy, and heart into what lies ahead. It's a sign that his love has matured past the stage of attraction and has grown into something rooted, stable, and forward-looking. A man who is serious about you doesn't just think about tonight. He thinks about next year, the years after that, and all the days you could share together. He respects your boundaries when a man is truly in love. One of the clearest signs you'll notice is how he respects your boundaries. This respect shows up in both small and big ways, and it speaks volumes about how deeply he values you. Instead of pushing you into things you're not ready for, he creates space for you to move at your own pace, whether it's about physical closeness, emotional sharing, or even personal time. He pays attention to your comfort level and adjusts himself accordingly. His love doesn't demand, it honors. You'll see it when he listens carefully the moment you say no, or when you express hesitation. He doesn't argue, guilt trip, or make you feel like your limits are inconvenient. Instead, he acknowledges your words and makes sure you know they matter. That kind of response isn't about weakness, it's about strength, because it takes maturity and self-control to respect someone else's needs, even when your own desires are different. Respecting your boundaries also shows up in how he handles your independence. He doesn't try to control where you go, who you talk to, or how you spend your time. He knows you had a life before him, and he loves you enough to let you continue being your own person. A man in love understands that boundaries aren't walls meant to keep him out. They're the lines that keep the relationship healthy and balanced. This respect builds trust. When he consistently shows that he hears you and honors your choices, you start to feel safe in ways you may never have before. You don't have to second-guess yourself or worry about being judged. Instead, you feel free to express your needs openly, knowing he won't dismiss them. Over time, This creates a deeper connection because true intimacy isn't just about closeness. It's about knowing you can be yourself without fear. When a man loves you and respects your boundaries, he is showing you that his feelings are genuine. He isn't trying to own you, change you, or push you beyond what feels right. He's choosing to love you in a way that protects your dignity, your comfort, and your peace. That kind of respect is one of the purest signs of real love. He supports your goals. When a man is falling deeply in love, one of the most undeniable signs is how he supports your goals. Love isn't just about affection in the moment. It's also about partnership, encouragement, and growth. A man who truly cares about you doesn't feel threatened by your dreams. Instead, he becomes your biggest cheerleader. He listens when you talk about your ambitions, no matter how big or small, and instead of brushing them aside, he takes them seriously. Your goals matter to him because you matter to him. Support shows itself in different ways. Sometimes it's practical. He may help you brainstorm ideas, share resources, or offer to proofread something important. Other times, it's emotional. He reminds you of your strength when you feel discouraged, or reassures you when setbacks shake your confidence. He doesn't let you give up easily because he believes in your potential even when you doubt yourself. That kind of faith can become the fuel that keeps you going. A man in love also celebrates your wins wholeheartedly, whether they're small milestones or life-changing achievements. He isn't jealous or dismissive when you succeed. Instead, he feels proud, as if your victory is his too. That's because real love doesn't compete. It uplifts. And when you stumble, he doesn't say, "I told you so." He's the one helping you get back up, encouraging you to try again. Supporting your goals also means making space for them. He respects your time when you're focused on your work or personal projects. He understands when you need to dedicate energy to your ambitions, and instead of demanding constant attention, he gives you the room you need to grow. He sees your goals as part of the person he loves, so honoring them is simply another way of honoring you. This type of support is powerful because it lays the foundation for a lasting partnership. When a man invests in your dreams, he's showing you that his love extends beyond romance. It's about wanting to see you thrive in every aspect of your life. That kind of support is not temporary. It's proof that his love is real, steady, and deeply rooted. 8. He shows vulnerability around you. When a man is falling deeply in love, one of the most revealing signs is that he shows vulnerability around you. For many men, vulnerability doesn't come easily. They are often taught to hide their emotions, to mask fear with strength, and to avoid exposing the softer parts of themselves. But when love takes hold, those walls begin to crack. With you, he feels safe enough to let the mask slip, because he trusts you not to use his openness against him. That trust is one of the purest forms of love. Vulnerability shows itself in small, tender ways. He may admit when he's scared about the future, when work pressures feel overwhelming, or when he carries insecurities he usually hides. He might talk about painful moments from his past or confide in you about dreams that feel fragile, ones he's never shared with anyone else. When he opens up like this, it isn't weakness, it's courage. It means he believes your presence is a safe place where his heart can rest without judgment. You'll notice it too in his body language. He might let you see him cry, something he'd never allow in front of others. He may lean on you in moments of doubt or ask for comfort when he feels low. For a man who's in love, vulnerability becomes natural because love erases the fear of looking imperfect. He doesn't have to pretend with you. He doesn't have to act invincible. He can simply be human, and that is one of the deepest signs of connection. This willingness to be vulnerable also strengthens the relationship. It creates intimacy far beyond physical attraction. It builds emotional closeness. You become his confidant, the one he turns to, not only in joy, but in moments of uncertainty. And when he lets you see his scars, he's silently saying, "I trust you to love me even when I'm not at my strongest." A man who shows vulnerability is giving you something rare, the raw, unguarded truth of who he is. That act alone proves his love runs deep because only with someone truly special does he dare to let his guard down. He protects you in subtle ways. When a man is falling deeply in love, one of the quietest yet most powerful signs is how he protects you in subtle ways. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic rescues. It's in the little things he does without even thinking. He walks on the side of the sidewalk closer to traffic. He checks that you got home safely. He notices when you look uncomfortable in a room and gently shifts the situation to ease your tension. These acts might seem small, but they speak volumes about how much he cares for your well-being. His protection isn't about control, it's about care. He's not trying to limit your freedom, but to create an environment where you feel safe. If someone disrespects you, he won't stay silent. He'll calmly stand by your side and make it clear that you deserve respect. If you're sick, he'll check on you, bring what you need, and make sure you're cared for. If you're stressed, he'll look for ways to lighten your load. His love compels him to guard your peace, even if it means sacrificing a bit of his own comfort. Often, these protective gestures happen so naturally that you might not notice them right away. The way he subtly adjusts the thermostat when he sees you're cold, or how he slows his walking pace to match yours, or even how he stays awake until you text him that you're safe. All of these are unspoken declarations of love. He may never label them as protecting you, but that's exactly what they are. What makes this so meaningful is that it's selfless. He's not doing it for recognition or praise. He's doing it because your safety and comfort matter to him more than his own convenience. These quiet acts build trust, showing you that he's not only present in moments of joy, but also attentive when life gets hard. A man who protects you in subtle ways is telling you, without words, I see you, I care for you, and I'll do what I can to keep you safe. That kind of protection doesn't fade. It only grows stronger as his love deepens. He makes sacrifices for you. When a man is falling deeply in love, one of the most undeniable signs is that he makes sacrifices for you. These sacrifices aren't always dramatic or life-changing. More often, they are quiet choices that show he values your happiness above his own convenience. He'll give up his free time to help you with something important, cancel plans to be by your side when you're struggling, or put aside his own comfort to make sure you feel safe and cared for. Love transforms his priorities. Suddenly, what matters most isn't just what makes him happy, but what keeps you happy too. You'll notice it in everyday moments. He might stay up late to talk even when he's exhausted because he knows you need someone to listen. He'll drive across town just to see you for a few minutes, even if it means being tired the next morning. He'll pass on opportunities that might distance him from you because the thought of losing closeness with you doesn't feel worth it. These sacrifices aren't made out of obligation. They're made out of genuine devotion. A man in love doesn't see these actions as burdens. In fact, they bring him joy because he knows they bring you comfort. His sacrifices are quiet affirmations of commitment, proof that he isn't just thinking about the present moment, but about building something strong and lasting. When he makes these choices, he's essentially saying, you're worth it. Your happiness and well-being matter to me more than my temporary wants. The depth of his love shines through when he makes sacrifices without expecting recognition. He doesn't keep score, doesn't remind you later of what he gave up. Instead, he does it silently, content with the knowledge that he's made your world a little easier or brighter. And while some of these sacrifices might seem small from the outside, they carry enormous meaning because they reveal how deeply he has placed your heart above his own comfort. This is one of the strongest signs of real love, when a man willingly, consistently, and quietly chooses you over himself. In those moments, you don't just see affection, you see devotion. He listens with genuine interest. When a man is falling deeply in love, one of the clearest signs is that he listens to you with genuine interest. Listening may sound simple, but there is a world of difference between hearing words and truly paying attention. A man who loves you doesn't just nod along or wait for his turn to speak. He leans in, absorbs your words, and tries to understand the feelings behind them. Your voice, your thoughts, your stories matter to him, so he treats every conversation as an opportunity to connect more deeply. You'll notice it in the way he remembers things you've told him. even if it was just a passing comment about your favorite childhood snack or a stressful day at work. He keeps those details close and often brings them up later. This isn't just about memory. It's proof that your words leave an imprint on him because he values what you share. He wants to know what makes you smile, what worries you, and what dreams you're holding on to. Every detail becomes another piece of the puzzle that helps him understand you better. When you're speaking, his attention doesn't drift. He puts down his phone, maintains eye contact, and reacts to your words with empathy and curiosity. He asks follow-up questions not because he feels obligated, but because he truly wants to know more. In a world where genuine listening is rare, this kind of attention feels like love in action. What makes it even more powerful is how he responds. He doesn't dismiss your feelings or rush to fix everything. Instead, he validates your emotions, making you feel heard and understood. That validation builds trust, showing you that you can share the deepest parts of yourself without fear of being ignored or minimized. When a man listens with genuine interest, it's his way of telling you, you matter. Your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences, they're important to me. That kind of listening goes beyond words. It's an act of love, a bridge that deepens intimacy, and one of the strongest signals that his heart is fully invested in you. 12. He looks at you differently. When a man is falling deeply in love, one of the most unforgettable signs is the way he looks at you. His eyes give him away long before his words do. It's not the casual glance of attraction or the fleeting look of interest. It's something deeper, steadier, almost unspoken. He studies you as if you're more than just a person standing in front of him. You're the center of his world. In that gaze, there's softness, respect, and a quiet kind of wonder, as though he can't quite believe you're real. This look often appears in unguarded moments. When you're laughing, lost in thought, or even doing something ordinary, you'll catch him watching you with a tenderness that doesn't need explanation. He isn't just noticing your beauty. He's seeing the essence of who you are. It's the kind of gaze that says, I love everything about you, even the parts you don't notice yourself. Unlike superficial attraction, this look lingers. It's not rushed, and it doesn't fade quickly. His eyes follow you with patience, as if memorizing the details of your face, your expressions, your movements. Sometimes he doesn't even realize he's doing it. It just happens naturally because love reshapes the way he sees you. Others may notice it too. Friends might tease him for staring, or someone might comment on how differently he seems to glow when you're in the room. That's because his love is visible, even when he tries to hide it. His gaze becomes an open secret, the kind of silent confession that speaks louder than any words he could say. This look carries reassurance. When you feel insecure or doubtful, catching that expression in his eyes reminds you of your worth. It tells you that you're cherished, valued, and loved in a way that goes beyond the surface. When a man looks at you differently, it's not just attraction, it's devotion. His eyes reveal the depth of his feelings, showing you what his heart already knows, that you are not just someone he likes, but someone he deeply, truly loves.